right. Thank you and welcome to EFC 69 press conference. We've got quite a few guys in the house, which is nice. A lot of MMA sporting stars. We've got Danny Henry here. He's sticking in the back there, which is cool. Let's get the press conference started with just announcing who is on this main card. We have the heavyweight clash between Kevin Kukumur and Nico Yamji from Cape Town, which we know is going to be a spectacular fight between those two guys. They love to throw down. We've got the TF1 star Ibrahima Mané, all the way from France. He spends a lot of time here shooting with us and built up quite a rapport with the EFC fans. He will be taking on Quade Openshaw, local boy here in South Africa in the middleweight division. We've got Callum Murray. We know he put on a great fight against Boyd Allen in his EFC debut here. He'll be taking on Pierre Boerter in the featherweight division. That is a highly touted fight. As I mentioned, Danny Henry's over here supporting him, former EFC champion. And we've got a couple of changes to the fight card, which I think we need to be announcing. The first of which is Nkazimolo Zulu was meant to be fighting Mourinho Kutundana. He's now not going to be fighting on this fight card. Reason being is Mourinho is ill. We've had to pull him off the card. And Zulu is going to take up the opportunity to fight another heavily touted flyweight later on in the year. We'll get into that with questions, I'm sure, from the media. And then the headliner, the highly anticipated bantamweight matchup between JP Bass and Philippe Rouche. And after what's been happening this entire week, I'm sure we're all very excited to see. All right, let's kick it off. Any questions, Keegan?
Let's kick this off with a question for Graham. This is not the type of question that you like, but I just want to find out. News broke this morning, Mourinho Kutundana out. Any replacement? We know a lot can happen in 3 days. Getting Zulu Boy a fight, maybe at a catchweight or at a bantamweight.
Look, I mean, if miraculously somebody comes onto the fight card, and the reason I say a local guy would be great, because we can essentially make the fight without having to worry about travel. But we have searched high and low. We offered it to Conor Hignett. Hignett originally accepted, but then I think he realized exactly what he's dealing with in Zulu Boy, and it's testament to how dangerous this guy is. I often say, this is the guy you don't get into the hexagon with expecting to come out unscathed. He's going to do damage. So essentially, we've tried with Conor Hignett. Sylvester Chipfumbu was trying to make a rematch, which their first fight was great, but he couldn't cut down to the weight. I mean, Zulu's 59, walking around 59, and Sylvester's probably about 68 kilos. So we aren't able to find one as of right now.
And just for you, Zulu Boy, the news broke. I'm sure you're not feeling too well about that. All the preparation, training camp, dieting. Tell us what your emotions like after hearing Mourinho pulled out.
It's very sad to find out this morning that Mourinho is not fighting. It's not fighting me anymore. It's not very good. I feel very, very sad, because I was preparing for this fight very hard, eating good, training very hard, preparing for him, putting everything in line. But I just found out this morning that he's not fighting, so it wasn't nice for me. It really breaks me. So I was hoping that I'm gonna have a replacement, but no one came up.
Just to jump in there, JP asked me why we didn't do BK now. Reason being is we believe that fight is going to be huge and deserves all the promotional backing, that we can get, the hype behind. And obviously, they're two of our biggest stars in that division, and to have them fight like that would just be...
No, I can fight JP now. This fight card, I don't mind. I'll fight him.
And they both are serious.
He's just joking, he's a joker. He thinks he's a movie star. You think fight is a movie? It's not a movie, my boy. This is a real thing.
And let's get a question for JP Bass, our headliner. JP, after Saturday, there was been a lot of talk about your pre-fight antics. I'm sure you've seen Felipe for the second time now. How much do you just want to get in there and just fight him?
Yeah, well, there's all hype stuff and stuff. But like last week was last week, this week's fight week. I'll fight this guy now. He was sitting there on his chair, not willing to get up when I was standing right in front of him. and definitely I can promise you guys I'll finish this guy. So I want to fight him now. If he wants to stand up and fight now, we can fight now.
Just another question there, JP. Obviously, a lot has been said, unfortunately, about Marino and Zulu's fight being pulled off the card. You are the main event. It seems like perhaps there's a bit of a cloud hanging over you guys now because everyone's talking about that. What are your thoughts on that, and what can you tell the fight fans to expect, and will you bring the show come fight night?
At the end of the day, I'm the main event, not me and Philippe. I'm the main event. The people here, they all here for me. No one can even say this guy's name. No one gives a about him. And at the end of the day, no one cared about Zulu and Marino as well. Everyone cares about me only.
You're dreaming, boy. No one cares about you.
Keep quiet,
You'll
son.
You'll find
Keep
out
quiet.
when I fight you. I'll put
Keep
holes
yeah,
in your
let's
face.
fight now.
Yeah, you
Let's
talking.
fight. Let's fight.
We fight in a cage, man. We're not the street fighters.
Shut up.
You must be professional.
It can't happen. So this is
Okay, Philippe,
You
we can just
know-
get your response there as well. But
please, let's be serious, you know. We can't fight here. You know what? Nobody will let us fight. Don't pretend to be a tough guy. JP, please, shut up. Please.
You're not talking to your
Shut
mom,
up.
yeah. You're not talking to your mom.
I said shut up,
You
JP.
get up.
I said shut up. Shut up.
And moving on the card, question for Quaid, open show. Quaid, I see all smiles on your face. It's not much trash talk between you and your opponent. Saturday nights, what's your plan? What's your game plan going to face Ibrahim? Do you think you can get the job done?
Look, I mean, hello, yeah, it's on. Look, I finish fights, always have, always will. So Saturday's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good fight. Ibra's a cool look. He comes there to finish as well. So I mean, it's a fan-friendly fight. Let's put it that way. If you're a fan, you want to watch this fight.
I'm excited for it.
So a question for Callum. Second time out. Obviously, the first one didn't go your way. What are you expecting from Pierre Botha? Have you done much research on him, or are you kind of just sticking to what you do?
Yeah, I've seen a few of his fights. He basically coils up, then swings and shoots. He's going to probably look to try and put me on my back, try and grind out a unanimous decision victory. That's basically what I've seen from his game. I think if it's going to be a striking battle, I think I've got the upper hand. I think if I get put on my back, I think I've got the upper hand. I think I've got the better jiu-jitsu, basically with a case that he can pick his poison. If he wants to stand, then it will go my way, and it's basically the exact same with the ground.
And a question for Nico Yamji. Nico, always when we get to see you in the hexagon, it's always on short notice, 24 hours. You're always there to rescue the card. Now having a full fight camp behind you, what type of performance are you looking to display on Saturday?
Yeah, for this fight, I train a lot, my full camp, and I'm very ready for this fight, and I'm gonna give him a good fight. I lost a couple of fights because of the bad decision, but by this time I'm not gonna leave them to the judge. I'm gonna give my victory myself. Yeah, I'm gonna finish the fight.
And this question is for JP Base. JP, we've seen you at flyweight take a few matchups at bantamweight against Hassan. Just physically on the night at bantamweight, how you think you're going to feel versus Felipe, strength-wise, speed-wise, and your all-round game?
I feel that like the cut does affect the person a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all about your hydration and the way you cut weight. So like if you cut weight bad, regardless which weight you're gonna fight at, you're gonna have a tough time. And I feel that on the night, for the first time, he'll say that he felt a 22-year-old man, because you won't have any answers. You'll be speechless at the end of the night.
And a question for Pierre Botha. Pierre, we've grown accustomed to seeing your awesome display of wrestling skills in the hexagon. Are you looking to surprise us with anything new, maybe in the stand-up, possibly trading leather with Callum?
Yeah, you guys must realize that every fight is a different fight. Yeah, we will see at fight nights, you know. At the end of the day, you have to be an all-round fighter, so you have to do BJJ, kickboxing, wrestling, all in one. So at the end of the day, you have to watch the videos and all that stuff just to be the best in your division.
This is Callum Murray. Callum, you know that Pierre's coming with a strong wrestling background. Have you had preparation in your training camp, guys trying to mimic Pierre's style, hold you down? And do you feel confident Saturday night when he takes you down, if he takes you down, you'll get back up to your feet?
I've got one of the best camps in Europe, higher level MMA. Dinky Ninja Fight Team. We've got lots of wrestlers in the gym. I've got a very good team of guys behind me that I've been hammering takedown defense, popping back up to my feet, submissions off my back. I can sweep. Basically, I've just been starting off on my back, looking for submission or sweep, or back to my feet. I'm not worried at all, to be honest.
Ibra, this one's for you, brother.
Hello.
How's it going? Last time you were around the fighter final, if you managed to get past Quaid, where do you see yourself in the division? Or is the welterweight still an option for you, or is a rematch with Brendan Lazar on the cards?
Yeah, I want this rematch and Brendan, if it's possible. But I think so. After this fight, I'm fighting welterweight. It's better for me. I think so.
And what do you make up with your matchup with Quaid?
Quaid is a good guy. He's a good guy. This fight, I think, is a great fight. So Saturday is a war.
The nice thing is, you know, the last guy he fought was a nice guy, and Brendan ended up leaving that hexagon with a serious nose issue. We'd love to see Ibra at welterweight. This fight was designed just for him to come in at middleweight, scrap it out. We wanted to showcase him again. He is a super talent, so you know, keep him in front of the fans, keep the fans happy seeing him.
And a question for Philippe Rouge. Philippe, the fight on Saturday against JP Base. In your mind, how do you see this fight play out from the time the cage door closes and the referee says fight? How do you get the victory and how do you get your hands raised?
There's so many ways I can win this fight. I don't know how I can lose. I can't. This guy sucks. I mean, his biggest accomplishment is beating Baldwin and Dalose. I see him being pretty performant, you know, but I will take advantage of him, and sooner or later I will finish him. Yes, but I have crazy cardio, and I can fight him and punish him for 25 minutes.
Will altitude not be a factor?
Excuse me?
Will the altitude, higher sea level, not be a factor in the fight?
I did some tests yesterday. I did some cardio, and no.
Ask Danny Henry about the altitude.
And JP, I just want to get your reply to what he says. There's no way he sees you even getting a victory. Do you think he's underestimating your game?
Yeah, he's definitely, he wants to be a good guy and a bad guy at the same time, but the previous 2 times he came out, Jay was all up in people's faces trying to make scenes behind. Backstage when he fought Gareth, he wants to act all big, but now that it's in front of him, now he wants to be the good guy again. But yeah, like I think he does underestimate me, and if he wants to go and pull guard like he did against Gareth and be under me, then I'm gonna punch his face off.
And a question for you, Graham.
I didn't pull guard, excuse me. What the he's talking about?
Then your takedowns were
no, because you're JP Wrestling. Excuse me, what have you accomplished in wrestling? Nothing.
This question is for you, Graham. Graham, looking at this main card, what fight sticks out for you? What are you excited to see?
All of them. You know, so I think we an interesting point, and a lot of people ask me why we've put the heavyweights on the main card. I mean, we want to open with big bangers like that. Fights that are going to stand out, and I think that is going to do that. We've brought over stars. We've brought over guys that I think are some of the best featherweights in the world. I mean, these guys are phenomenal. It would have been amazing seeing Zulu and Mourinho scrap, but I can tell you something, we will do BK, and Zulu will be the next fight that we're going to do instead of Mourinho, because we need to give Mourinho time.
Quade, just a question for you quickly. Ever since EFC 51, you haven't seen a second round. And that's a big statement going into Saturday night. Do you all want to keep that momentum going? And when would you like to knock on the door for the title shot?
Look, I go to finish fights, whether it's first round or second round. I've been fortunate to have a first round, you know, since EFC 51, like you said. Title contention, well, if I beat Ibra, okay, I think Ibra caught Brendan with a big kick, and if I can finish him, I think it kind of puts me just above Brendan.
What you trying to say? You think you're going to finish him?
Well, I'm a finisher.
Ibra, do you have a response for that?
So, you ready? Saturday is I'm finish you. Saturday I'm finish you.
I love it. It's great.
I'm ready for this fight. So Saturday, yeah. I'm sorry for my English because I don't speak English very well. But
say it in French then.
Est-ce que tu peux traduire pour moi? Déjà pour commencer, qu'est-ce qu'il m'a dit? Il a dit qu'il allait me finir? Ok, bah tu lui dis bien que this is my language. Ouais, là, tu lui dis bien qu'en gros, écoute, c'est pas.
That's not easy because I wasn't.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Let Philippe translate.
It's like I'm talking to him again.
On va faire ça progressivement.
Ok, on y va alors.
Tu lui dis bien.
He wants me to tell you.
Hein? Que c'est pas parce que il fait 95 kilos ou peut faire 100 kilos. Je suis préparé pour ce combat. Je suis préparé pour un combat en mi-lourd, comme en welterweight. Ça veut dire que ça...
Before you answer, Mark, I think this is the strangest setup ever. Quade just fought Mark, and now he's translating through. No, okay, what you got to say, Mark?
I was about to be like, I want a rematch. Okay, I won't disturb you guys. Okay, he's saying, you can get bigger, do whatever you want to, but he can finish you. He was ready for you, and he prepared for the lightweight, but he came up just for you. So actually, it's gonna be there for you.
Et tu rajoutes aussi que de la force, tout le monde en a de la force.
Power, everybody got power.
Le plus important, c'est la technique.
The important thing is technique.
See, now this is what you want to see. He thinks he can finish me, and I think I can finish him.
Yeah.
That makes for a cracking fight. Let me tell you that.
For sure.
Il a dit, toi, tu crois que tu vas lui finir, il pense aussi te finir, donc ça sera un vrai combat.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Question for JP. We've seen in a lot of the marketing, Philippe's end of fight speech against Bursky, where he was going, "How dare you?" What do you make of his whole attitude with that?
Well, when he lost against Bursky, he obviously got a big surprise and people booed him because he didn't win actually. But yeah, my people, South Africans booed him because he
JP, just to follow up on that question, after watching his fight with Bursky, did you see any olds and do you feel Saturday you can exploit them?
So this guy has, I think, 7 wins, 6 of them triangles. So if he can't get you in his guard and can't triangle you, how's he going to win the fight? He can't.
And this is another question. These two guys, Felipe Rush and Kazimulu Zulu, they're possible matchups for you. Which one is the tougher guy?
I'd say Zulu is tougher than him.
Callum, as a personal question, we want to know the history of the name Bundy.
No comment.
It's a must answer, I'm afraid.
I found out the other day. It's quite something.
It originates from Theodore. I don't know if you know Theodore Bundy. Nah, it was just a little joke that I kind of made up. I was calling some people. I just said they had a bit of a Ted Bundy look about them. I used to say he's got a bit of a Ted Bundy. Like, you know that way if you pass a guy in the street, you just got a bit creepy look about him. You know, I just he's got a bit of a Ted Bundy look about him. And then somehow it kind of backfired to me, and then all of a sudden I'm the Ted Bundy. And at the start I kind of laughed along, thought it was great, and then all of a sudden it became my fight name. So It was actually meant to be the magpie because I was always collecting the shiny things, kind of amateur, won the belts and stuff. So I was like, quite like the magpie name, but obviously my teammates preferred Bundy, so Bundy it is.
And a question for Kevin Kokomo. Kevin, Nico, he's not going to be an easy task. He's not going to be a walk in the park. Just talk us through your training camp. Who you've been preparing with, type of training partners you've been having. How's training camp been?
Training camp's been good. I've had a lot of sparring with Elvis, so anything Nico throws at me, it's not something I haven't seen before. Been wrestling a few bigger guys like Dwayne and that. So yeah, it's been good.
And I just hear you had sparring with Elvis, so that means on the stand-up you're going to be crisp and quite clean. With regards to the ground?
With the ground, I've been working with Dwayne from Mayhem. It's a nice big guy, very solid, very strong. And that's I've been working with some big, strong guys for this fight.
This guy moves like a lightweight, eh? On the ground. He's really something special.
A question for Graham. It's a twofold question. You mentioned BK in the future for Zulu.
Yeah.
Would a non-title fight with Zulu not be an option and then set up a rematch straight away? That's the first part, and if that's not what's going to happen...
What do you mean now?
Yeah.
I think that fight deserves all the promotional glitz and glam that it's going to achieve.
And you couldn't do that with a rematch?
We possibly could, but I think that this is the choice that we've made now for Zulu, and I think that it's going to be so big when we do put it on, especially in Johannesburg. Back here, they get the headliner. They're the guys that everyone's going to be talking about.
And then the second part was you said there would be a big name flyweight for Zulu down the line. Can you tell us who that is?
When did I say that?
When we started.
Oh, well, that's what I'm talking about, BK. Who else is bigger? No, look, the BK fight is a huge fight. They are the two biggest stars in that division. And I just feel, and I think most of us agree, if we just throw it together as a, what if fight, it's not good enough. These guys are huge, and they're going to really set that fight card alight. And we want to do everything we can to make sure as many people arrive to watch that thing.
A question for Callum Murray. Callum, I just want to talk about this week, your former opponent, Boyd Allen, and you got Danny Henry, who's his former opponent, and I heard that Boyd Allen's going to be cornering you. That's the beauty of the sport at the end of the day, is that former rivals turn to friends.
And Danny Henry submitted Pierre.
It's a whole triangle in a relationship there.
Henry.
Wrong, brother.
Sorry. Did anybody tell you guys look the same? Eh?
Yeah. Just going back to my question, Callum, what's it been like being with Boyd, knowing your former nemesis, now your best buddies, and just talk about the whole week in general?
Like since my last fight, obviously, I've kept in touch with Boyd, just spoke back and forward messages, and I just said like when I came out here, maybe a couple of months before I came out here when the fight first got released, obviously I knew I'd be out here for maybe 8-9 days beforehand. I said, is it cool if I come along and train at, obviously FFM's the best gym in South Africa, so I wanted to get along and get the opportunity to come along and train with the guys, which I have been for the past week, and it's been great. So yeah, Boyd's been bang on with me as well. Me and Danny, he's drove us about, take us back and forward to the gym. So yeah, it's all good. At the end of the day, it's a sport, so that's the way I see it.
Next one's for Zulu. Zulu, obviously the heartbreak of not getting your fight, but obviously Graham has said now the next opponent will be BK. What do you make of that fight?
First of all, I respect organization's decision, but I can fight BK Saturday. I don't mind. But obviously, since he's got a very good fan base, same as I, so organization need to promote that fight and make it big as it is. So I'll wait for PK, and he needs to prepare himself as well, because he can't just take it in a very short notice. And it's going to be a very, very good fight, and I'm looking forward to fight him. But I want to fight his girlfriend first, JP Bayers.
JP, I can't help but ask for your response to that. Your response to Zulu saying he'll fight.
So he wants to say that BK needs to prepare himself. BK will fight him, put him on his back, and beat him.
Let's see if you can do that.
Yeah, I can do it for sure. Why did you jump in front of a car the previous time? Why did you jump in front of a car?
When imagining yourself,
why did you
like
jump in front of a car?
I'm already a champion. I'm already a winner. Come on, man. This thing is real. It's fight. It's not a movie.
So then fight him. Fight him on Saturday. Oh no, because you haven't been wrestling with Ige enough.
He comes still with the ego, one-dimensional. Who you think you are? You're nothing, man.
I'm your daddy.
Wait, white daddy? No, ugliest daddy like you? No ways, man. You ugly.
And a question for Nico Yamji. Nico, the last 3 fights hasn't been going your way. How much are you looking forward to getting the W on Saturday and just getting the win column back?
Yeah, like I say, I'm very, very prepared. And I have a new team now where they push me every day. So I'm more than ready.
Nico, let me ask you your predictions for the main event, JP Base, Felipe Rouge. Who do you think will win?
Nobody wants to cross lines here. It's hard.
I can't say who's gonna win, but the best one gonna win, eh? Is what yeah. All of them, they are professional. They must fight to win.
Question for Pierre. Even though you drew with Ozzy, you kind of won, and then there was the illegal technique, but to the knee to the head, so you lost a point and it was a draw. So you're on a bit of a run again since your loss in the title fight. Do you feel that if you beat Callum, that you deserve a title shot?
Yeah, definitely. I'm preparing for every fight. I'm hungry for a fight, so this one will be definitely the one to win, to be on the card again. So definitely.
Just to add to that, I honestly think that Pierre and Callum are right up there with the best. And, you know, this guy, he drew with Ozzy, but Ozzy's dope test came back positive after that. So, I mean, it's not exactly like he had a fair shake in that fight. I think that this kid would have come up on tops in that fight.
So you're going to give me that fight then?
No. Fight this one, then we'll see.
Nkazimulu Zulu, the flyweight champion, I just want to ask you, for your predictions on the main event, because you could possibly, you said you want to go up in weight and fight for the bantamweight title. Who do you think wins the fight between JP and Felipe? And which guy would you prefer to fight?
Obviously, the guy I would prefer to fight is the girl right there next to Graham. He's a girl. And he doesn't have a gas tank. I think if it goes above round 3, he's going to be in real trouble.
Just like the Mart put you on your back and for 5
the
rounds you couldn't do anything.
You're nothing compared to Dimash,
yeah, I'll
bro.
put you on your back and finish you.
5 rounds,
I'll
bro.
finish you like Marino was going to finish you.
Really?
Keep quiet.
You think you're going to
Keep
finish
quiet.
me? You're going to wake up in a hospital and they'll tell you, oh, Zulu finished you.
Maybe your mom's hospital.
Mom doesn't have a hospital. Daddy.
Yeah, I think we're done with that final statement. All right, thank you very much for joining us at the EFC 69 press conference. We're going to do face-offs between the guys. Zulu, maybe you can do face-off with JP as well. we might as well if we're going to do that fight in the future. Jokes. But thank you very much to Capital Hotels for hosting us. Another fantastic adventure, guys, and it's always cool to see the support and the fighters come out. Thank you. Yeah, face-offs.